We're late because of Cody. Sorry.
Hot top sports where the takes don't miss.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do.
Champ with the fist, water bringing fire, cowboy tie riding bold. Bulls calling bets, watch the stories unfold. And it's truly eyebrows running the show. It's hot top sports, baby. Let's get it. Let's go.
Oh yes. Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon. I got boogers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here at High Top Sports. I think there's
good?
There's a booger still there. It looks like it.
No.
At High Top Sports, boys and girls, good to see you. Welcome back. We got a jam pack. We're going to talk a lot of different things here. We haven't really had a chance. We talked about it last night a little bit on the call-in show about the $90 million being offered to Lane Kiffin from LSU and just the hubris that they've been expressing. So we'll get into that a little bit. I know Jeremy asked for us not to talk about Lane, but I don't know what Jeremy wants me to do when that's all we can really focus on and talk about at the moment. So we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about Turnkey. We dabbled into it, but we haven't ourselves had a chance to discuss it and give you our feelings since that news on Friday broke after we spoke, right? So we'll get into that. Obviously, we'll talk about the game a little bit. If you're new here and you're wondering what are these Sunday shows, the Sunday shows historically around this time recap the game. We talk about things we didn't like, things we loved, the progress. We talk about growth, things we want to look for in the following weeks. But as if you've been following along this series, these Sunday shows have drifted away from that due to obviously the performance on the field and just where the direction of the program is. It seems to be in a spiral at the moment, which we anticipated obviously with the firing of the coach. So that's no surprise. But our hearts have been stepped on each passing week, and last night was a new low for Florida, and I keep burning us. I mean, again, we lost a 30-year streak. We were able to hold on to the scoreless streak, which was nice. Some people didn't think so. I thought that it was. And look, I want to start off with this. Cody will be on in just a minute. I'm sure he'll give you the rage that you guys all love and the firing, the fierceness. As I've gotten older and more soft, as we like to call it, I approach these things a little bit differently. And I do fear what could happen to this fan base if Lane is not hired. Although I am a huge Lane support, obviously we got the choo-choo trains in the stocking. I am not on the bus of Lane Kiffin or bust. Although I do think that he is a very important hire, but I'm not going to just completely sell the ship. We got to wait and see. Although if it's not Lane, that person is going to have a uphill battle. Unless it's some surprise, and we're going to have a show with Allie tonight to talk more about that. But there isn't too many names, I don't think, that will settle this base. And the other tone, where people are like, people just need to quit going to the games. The reason why these games are continuously to be sold out, we had somebody call in yesterday, Gator game, 95, 30 years old. Just made it to his first Gator game ever. Awful experience for the guy. Feel for him, right? My point to that is that there are Gator fans that have been bred across this nation that have never made it to the swamp. And yes, there are layers and tiers to this of people who've been all in for quite some time and probably will take some weekends off and not go to the games, which will allow for other people to flow in. My point is, keep this kind of short, is that the fan base is so thick that it's going to take a minute for the impact that has happened this year to really be seen, right? Where the fan base quits showing up, where the fan base doesn't show out. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen and that it can't happen. We are closer than we need to be, is what I'm trying to get to. We are closer than it needs to be. Will it happen next week? Will it happen in 6 months from now? I don't know. But if it continues down this path, it'll be there. We will be Nebraska. Now they continue to show out, and because there's just nothing else to do in Nebraska. That's a different reason why they show out. But we are headed down a path we don't want to head down. I want to give a shout out to this man right here, Steve Crowder. He popped up on my Twitter last night, and it reminded me of my grandpa for multiple reasons. Not to call Steve old, because he looks fantastic. He's obviously older. A couple reasons why he reminded me of my grandpa. One, the mustache and the light flow. Absolute stud. 10 out of 10 look. Just vibing. And then the button up. Like the classic OG button up Columbia Gator. Like that's, if you saw my grandpa, you thought that man was on a recruiting trip day in and day out. Whether it was Gator socks, Crocs, pants, hats, etc. The guy was rocking the Gators. And his tweet says, "Good night, #Gator Nation. I am nobody." Love this. But someone at the UAA should be held accountable for this travesty, in my honest opinion. Hashtag. Great use of the hashtag, Steve. Shout out to my guy. You good, Cody? The good Lord willing, we'll be back next Saturday for hashtag beat FSU, hashtag and all kinds of others, hashtag road to Gainesville. And ultimately, that's what it's all about. It's literally when we see in all kinds of weather, this is what it is. And we are in a piss storm right now. A piss storm is the best way that I can describe. But shout out Steve. Again, obviously he's probably watched a lot of Gator games in his life, I'm assuming. And still riding strong. So shout out to Steve. And the reason why I also reminded me of my grandpa, because again, quick little story time, and then we'll get into the show. For my grandpa, he's from UConn. Graduated from UConn, big UConn Husky guy. And moved down here after I think he was done serving to Florida. And I always ask him, how'd you become a Gator fan, Grandpa, if you went to UConn? He's like, the fans. He said, when you got down here, man, and you were just around this fan base and how passionate they were and how much they loved this team, and when you went into the swamp and you went into the Gainesville and the infectious attitude and energy that the fan base provided, you just wanted to be a part of it. And I couldn't help, by living here, not want to be a part of this fantastic fan base. And I know what he means. I mean, you all know what he means. And doing this show, I found a whole new level of love and appreciation for even more of this fan base. So why are you giving us this spiel? We got our ass kicked last night. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I always feel like, a reason to kind of express my love and gratitude for the fans and for this team. And it sucks where we're at right now. I pray for better days, but as of now, it's a low moment. We got to stick through it, ride together. And I know some people are going to be ticked off and pissed off if things don't go their way in a couple weeks from now. But Steve is what represents all of us. So shout out to our guy, Steve. Go give him a follow. All right, boys, let's get into it. Cody, how you feeling, big guy?
Oof. I'm telling you.
There he is.
I got a feedback. Sounds like I'm there.
It might be me. See how accountability works, Cody? When it's my fault, I take. Tough. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. It just I'm trying to remember when I felt like this last. Probably. God, I don't even know. It feels like all hope has lost this team. Like any ounce of fight has just alleviated, minus maybe Jaden Ball and a couple others. It doesn't even feel like the coaching staff cares at this point. And we're still paying them. We got millions of dollars in coaches and water girls and everything else. I just don't understand. I don't understand what happened to taking pride in your work. Like what happened to that? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're on your way out and it's your last day. You still take pride in your work. It's still your name you're putting on this thing. And, as of right now, a guy that a lot of Gators loved and Billy Gonzalez, he can go, dude. He can go. You were handpicked to be the interim head coach and to change stuff up. And we saw nothing. It literally looked like they did not game plan for anything. And they were just like, well, let's see what Billy had on the folder. Yep, that'll work. I knew there was no power eye. There was no creativity. There was absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I'm 50-50 on the Billy G thing because there's a part that I do agree with you. The second part, he didn't handpick the staff. So he's got to work with what's been given to him and been delivered. And the guy is, he's not experienced. I don't think he was ever intending to be a head coach. The fact that he was named that, again, it's from this, it goes to the top. We always want to find someone to blame. And I was frustrated with how things were. I agree with you. But I'm not going to die on the hill. You can, I'm fine with that. And I was frustrated with him last night because there are things that I think that as a head coach, regardless of the situation, you can have these guys prepared and ready to go. A little more oomph, if you will. And it really feels like he has been completely hands off and allowed for these OCs and guys to run it, which is a fault on him, in my opinion, of like, you've got to realize it's not working. But yeah.
It's the game, dude. It's the game of football. It's been... We've been playing it forever. It hasn't really changed, dude. Like it literally has not changed. Like if you are a wide receiver coach and you can't scheme up a game plan and you've been a wide receiver coach or you've been a coach of football at the collegiate level for 20 years, what are you doing, dude? You
Yeah.
can't scheme up an offensive game plan. And you've been coaching at the highest level for the last 15, 20 years. You've been around. I mean, god dang, it should come at least with osmosis. You've been around championship teams. And you can't figure it out 4 game plans for the year? You can't offensively figure out 4 dang game plans that don't look the same for the year? 4. That's it. That's all we were asking. You got to go. You're terrible.
Yeah, good point. I mean, again, being in the league this long, you should have a little more, I would say, telltale of how to come in. The fact that we have come out outside the Georgia game, I think, so the last 3 games, and just completely flat-footed on the first drive, like zero scriptedness. That was the one thing Billy had for us. Scripted plays, that boy had a dial.
Yeah, Scott, that's my point, dog. He's got 2 natties and he can't figure it out. You got 2 of them, dog. You got 2. And you don't know what winning football looks like? That was not winning football last night. That was a give up. That was a complete and utter give up. That's what that was.
I'm glad we started off the show so calm and, peaceful. I told him though that Cody would be here in just any moment now. So if you didn't like my take, Cody would be in front of him. Marvin says it benefits Gator Media to keep pushing Lane. Look how they did us this offseason. Interesting take here, Marvin. So I mean, if you could point to one, I would say Gator Media. When I'm talking Gator Media, I'm talking about ourselves. I'm talking about Stadium and Gale. I'm talking about Breakdown, Alley. I don't know how Neil's been, so I can't speak to Neil. But you're kind of your main hubs. I don't feel they've pushed Lane. We've talked about wanting Lane. We've talked about what we've heard about Lane. But myself, for sure, has not been one to say, hey, we are getting Lane. I've been very clear of that. I know it's going to be misconstrued. I've looked, and that's why I don't get too caught up anymore about the things that I say, because it doesn't matter. People are going to hear what they want to. They literally hear what they want to hear. But I would feel that the media has been quite reserved. Actually, even the beat writers have been quite reserved in this scenario. So I disagree with that. And how they did it this offseason, I mean, that's their job. It's the right positive things. I mean, they're only comparing it to what they can see, but I'm not going to get into all that. But yeah, I think we kind of hit that nail on the head last night too, where we were. I mean, 3 weeks ago we were tooting the horn of like, man, like the one good thing that Billy did was leave us a nice little. Quit reading the comments, Cody. Again, you have an opportunity to call in, Marvis. Please show me. This is what I'm saying. I'm not backtracking. Have I wanted Lane? Have I been proactively wanting Lane? Yes. Have I laid down the horn that we're going to get him and screw everybody else? Show me the clip, brother. Show me the clip. I almost want to this is where the shit bothers. This is the shit that fires me up, and it takes me off track for no damn reason. Because it's just like, you sit in this little corner and you want to just chirp, without any grounds to it. Got to stay calm though. About where we feel like of where this cover board was left. Like that's where I'm genuinely concerned at is the trenches frighten me.
Oh God.
Like that was where I was more upset last night more than anything. Like we talked about it during the call-in show. Strip away the play calling, strip away just maybe lack of DJ's performance, maybe certain individuals. How we've been bullied all season long. All
Not
season
just on
long.
one side, dude. Not just on one side either.
No, both sides. We haven't owned any of the trenches.
This is the worst part. I get when a true freshman gets pushed back. I mean, we are playing entirely too many young cats at the defensive line position, especially that interior defensive line. I think Micah Burrow and who's the other one? I'm trying to think of his name. They get all kinds of snaps, and they're great. They're great. but they haven't been a strength and condition. Like they're playing against grown 320 to 365-pound men, and it shows, dude. That we just get bullied. Like I said it last night. Like when the running back and a defensive tackle meet in the hole, I don't expect the running back to get 6-7 yards. Like, and that was happening over and over and over again.
Bro, the
We're
Tennessee offense had recent plays pulled up, and they just kept picking the same one.
yeah. It was just dive left, dive right, counter left, counter right.
Flip play.
And then
Flip
yeah,
play.
and then every
Yeah.
now and then they'd throw like a trap in there to get nasty. It was like, what, dude? It was they didn't even try to throw the ball. Really, they didn't even throw the ball. It was run it down your throat, and we're gonna show you that we're the dominant offensive line. And it's one thing if it's one game, right? But this happened in the Miami game. This happened in on both sides of the trenches. It happened in the Miami game. This has happened in Texas A&M. It happened in Kentucky. It happened in this game here. So it's like, dude, it's like this isn't a one fluke game. This is DNA. This is what this is.
Here's the thing, right? Because going back to that comment of like Gator Media lied. This is I do want to have, because I've admitted to like, okay, maybe we juice things up too much, and I had my whole spiel about that after the USF loss. So I'm not gonna rehash that. Like that is one thing that I'll acknowledge when I was an idiot, and I'll cool to stand 10 toes down. The one thing that I felt like I did do a better job of, and I've reiterated this, of like, this wasn't me just making shit up. Cole Kubelik had Florida in his top 3 for offensive line and defensive line for all the same reasons we did. PFF had Florida in their top 10 because of things that these guys did last year and expectation of just how people get judged, why Texas was picked to win, because there is a natural expectation of growth, right? Like you have what you know, and then you supplement growth, right? You anticipate people getting better. So they had him there. I remember Chris Dorian talking about this finally looks like an Alabama O-line and defensive line. Those are his words, not ours. So I want to know what the hell happened.
Dude, I don't know, but I can tell you. Oh, McLeod's a stud too. This is the problem. This is the problem with me. Everybody's like, "Well, our freshmen are our best our freshmen are our best defensive linemen." Dude, that's a problem. That means you have not developed anything, and that these
all
guys
of our best players are young guys. They come in and just play off of raw talent, and then the second year, it's like they don't exist anymore. Like we're all okay. He was really good, and now we're gonna have this expectation grow.
Let me ask you, how many he was really good players have we had that have just nosedived? How many he was really good?
Oh, Castell was phenomenal. Eugene Wilson, but I wouldn't put Eugene because it was such a small sample size. I mean, Lagway was much better his freshman year.
Pretty much every wide receiver we've had.
Wide receivers is a weird one because we were so heavy in the portal.
Running back, James Ball definitely looked better last year than he does this year.
He looks way more slower and lethargic. Yeah.
Defense cornerbacks for sure. It's just, dude, it's like there's no development.
LJ McCray was an interesting one. I mean, think about he never really kind of hit the ground running, and we definitely didn't help him get any better either. Hell, George Gums. I mean, he wasn't a freshman, but his first year here was better.
Yep.
I mean, Jack Pyburn's probably the only one that had true progression in this system. Scooby Williams got better when he left.
Like on the defensive line, especially the defensive line, when we talk trenches, like a freshman should have to be a phenom, like Colin Simmons or a guy like that to get on the field. Like they should have to be. I don't care about stars either. Like when they come into camp, they need to be beating people to sleep to get a starting spot as a freshman. And we don't have that.
Yeah.
We don't have that at all.
I feel like even Sapp has been awfully quiet this year. I mean, again, think about like at the beginning of the year, another thing that was not us, that people had 4 people on our team. It was Barber, Sapp, Banks,
Caleb Banks,
and Slaughter to be projected as top 25 NFL draft picks. 2 of them possibly top 10. And none of them are nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Wild. Wild.
Dude, Caleb Banks, I know it was his first game, and I know he was on snap count, and I know that he's probably not in great football condition because he's been injured, but, like, I only saw one play by him. It wasn't like he was this dominant NFL dude. Like, I know NFL talent. Like, I spent hours researching the draft. Like, none of these guys flash NFL to me.
No.
None of them. Not a
Crazy.
single one.
No.
I mean, maybe more. Maybe more.
There's
Moore's had probably the best season so far.
Yeah,
on
his
the defense.
hustle's been great. He's had some moments, but I mean, I think his ability, I think that he'll be kind of like a Jason Marshall. He'll find the home and he'll be able to excel for sure. And there's a lot of Tennessee fans in here. I mean, rightfully so. I don't really, it doesn't faze me.
Cool.
Like you guys ended an incredible streak. You looked really, really good, and you should be proud of it. But you're not playing the ASCC championship, and you're going to a basic ass bowl game.
Yeah.
In all reality, I mean, outside of just taking a streak from us, congrats, brother.
Under what year? Under Heupel?
Congrats, brother. Like, we suck. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But you get to go play a meaningful game and continue on with Heupel. So, congrats, brother. Maybe. Heupel might leave your ass. Congrats, brother. In all seriousness, I mean, nothing but love for you boys. Like, you have every right to come in here and talk smack. Like, 100%. And I go Vols, yeah, it doesn't faze me. I mean, do I look phased to you? I genuinely love it. Like, this is part of the game. Like, this is the part I think people misconstrued is like, I'm on this microphone every single day. The comments, the things that people say about us and me are just, they never stop. You know? You think you can hurt me more than what this team has done to me? Like, that's what you don't understand. Yeah, we're rock bottom. Yeah. Why would I care about what some mediocre football team has to say about me? Brother, we lost to USF. We lost to Kentucky, buddy. Y'all should have whooped our ass. Congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats. They beat us. Yeah, I'm not downplaying. They whooped our ass.
They won their natty last night.
Yeah.
Good job.
I'm proud of them. I couldn't be more proud. I'm being 100% serious. They took down a hell of a streak, bro. That's huge. $5. I'm ready for more lane talk if it's good. Just burnt out Gator here. Well, I mean, it's always good, man.
Good luck with Vandy next week.
$5, yeah. The first game post Bailey looked different on offense. The rest looked the same as Bailey. Yeah, it's very strange, Anthony. I don't know what changed. Would love for someone to ask that question. I don't think there's anybody even at the presser yet, so I don't think anybody cares. Is Turnkey finding a DC OC as well for OC or head coach only? I would assume typically that head coach usually brings in the remaining pieces. I wouldn't think it's like a Build-A-Bear workshop. If I'm a head coach, I'm not letting somebody else make those decisions. Maybe they'll ask for help, but I don't think so. $5. Ole Miss, Florida, Atlantic, USC, Tennessee, and the Oakland Raiders. We do what we want to be on that list. Also, thoughts on Oakland Raiders. Do we want to be on that list? Also, thoughts on Scott Strickland. That's an interesting way of phrasing it. That's basically like, hey, do we want to be on this Lane Kiffin rap sheet? Do we want to be a part of this? Interesting.
I mean, who else do you really go get?
No, but I think it's
Riley.
We get really blinded by it because we've seen what he's done in the last couple of years. Lincoln Riley, go look at his rap sheet. That's what's crazy about it. I mean, it's not as egregious as this, but yeah. I mean, it's similar because it's shorter. I mean, Lane's been a head coach for a long time. I think what people misunderstand is Lane was the golden boy. Lane got opportunities. Why? I vaguely remember. I remember when he would become head coaches. I was like, who does this guy know? Like, as a kid, I was like, is this guy just like the son of Nick Saban? Because the opportunities that he would get, it was like he had blackmail on somebody. So, honestly.
No, his dad was a prolific DC in the NFL. Very well respected.
So it's kind of like the Shanahan son. Like you get a little more of a nod to take these opportunities he probably should have never had, if we're being honest. He was thrown into all these jobs, way too young and immature to probably handle all of these things. The guy was 30 years old. And I'm not saying that 30-year-old now aren't doing these things. Like, that's what people must understand. It's like we always want to like sit back and judge, but I'm like, the reason why his history, in my opinion, is so aloof from other people, like think about Kurt Singeti. Getty sat at Alabama for 30 years and behind Nick Saban and just like kind of like was the old fashioned, I'm going to just wait my turn, wait my turn, wait my turn. It's just it's a story of two different people. That's all that it is. So Kurt doesn't have necessarily a dark past, but he also has a short timeline left because he's so old, right? But he probably learned all of the miscues and had all of his mistakes behind his shield, right? That's what people misunderstand. Like the past thing are definitely things to take into consideration, but what I would look at are the last 6 years of what Lane has done, and I would say they've made up for a lot of the blunders that you're mentioning here, personally. But great question. I love the way that was phrased.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about. But I think that this league is what have you done for me lately?
Yep.
And he's done. I'll tell you what he's done. He's done a lot of winning. Has he won some uber big games and stuff like that? No, but nobody's perfect. I mean, you only got a couple guys that have won national championships at this point.
Breaking
that are
news.
even coaching.
Mike Norvell. What am I going to say?
Has been fired.
Will return as Florida State's head coach in 2026.
Oh my God. They listened.
They watched the show.
They watched the show. That's the best thing they could do.
Yeah.
And people are going to say I'm crazy, but there's no reason for them to get into this coaching search. They're seeing it right now. Go let a guy like the North Texas guy have another year, or go get a coaching job somewhere else this year and find out if he's the guy, like if he takes the next step to a bigger program. Go let some of these coaches that are a little bit younger see what they look like in year 3 at their stop. If you're kind of penciled in their year 2 and they're starting to have success. I think it's the best thing that they could do.
They saw the Sexton put them in a blender last year. They don't want to be involved with the blender once again. So they're going to take their lickings and move on.
Yeah.
$5. I've been trying to find the link to the Discord. Can someone help me? If you go on YouTube, you get, because you remember your access to a member tab, like a post tab. It's under there. I may need to update it, but that's where it is. $2 from Clint. I only want Lane now just to beat LSU and Ole Miss. Yeah, there's definitely a pettiness in me where it's like I simply just want him to just mock the media and to throw it back in their face. The teenage girl in me for sure just wants it for those reasons. $5. Full fans still mad Lane left him in the middle of the night for USC. Still don't think we should hire him though. That was the same person.
Who's your guy? Who's your guy?
Question. $2 from Jeremy. Gums was supposed to break the sack record. That one hurts, Jeremy. That was a Delator tweet. He's ghosted us since then. No, he didn't hit us to the panel. How do you rally the fan base if it's not Lane? Well, John, these are all great questions. We kind of said it last night.
I think no matter what, this fan base shows up to a 3-8 team and fills the swamp. I think no matter what, we may not be happy at the very beginning, and we might have to do some waiting and seeing, but this isn't rocket science. It's win football games. You start winning football games, and you will have the full throat of the University of Florida fan base behind you. And that's all it takes.
Look, I don't think the new coach necessarily needs us to be behind him. He needs the staff and the boosters to give him the funds that he needs. And what we'll do once whatever who does come in, I mean, how they attack the portal will tell me a lot pretty quickly. And, and then we'll obviously go, it could be a rough first year, but you got a pretty, I would say, easier year one with the SEC and how it's shaped up. But I mean, and nowadays, who knows how true that is just because of how hectic it is anymore. But I don't necessarily think the fan base will be as aggressive if it's Lane right off rip, rightfully so. It'll take some time. I think the excitement will dull down. Just like anything, though, we're all conditioned to get fired up right around that July, August. And look, I mean, people will do their due diligence for sure and talk about the team, and maybe it won't be fired up. Maybe it'll be a down one. I don't know. If it's an up and coming coordinator like a Will Stein or something like that, I don't see any reason to be upset. Even if it's John Summerall, I like him a lot. I know that people have their reasons to be concerned, but he's a fiery one. He would be great for interviews. Brent Key's kind of got a little bit of a swagger about him. I know people don't like him, but I think that these guys will handle their own. And whoever, honestly, whoever is willing to jump into this fire, should have the support and respect. But that's my opinion. Not
Well,
everyone's gonna feel that
and
way.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. The nerds like me are gonna go out there and watch every grip of tape in the last year that they've produced. And we're going to come on here and we're going to tell you, I'm probably going to tell you what I like. And there'll be some stuff I don't like, but it'll be heavily of what I like. Obviously, they're not going to go get a losing coach. They're going to get a winning coach. That means that coach at whatever level is winning. And that means when I turn on the tape, I'm going to see stuff I like. And then I'm going to come back and report it to you and tell you, this this defensive line guy is elite. Look what he did at the University of Alabama, these 2 years. And this DC, I really like his scheme. It's definitely different from what we did. It's just it's not going to take much because they're going to get a guy that is winning at this time. It's not like they're going to be like, "Oh, we're going to go get Mike Norvell."
What the reason why I think a little more like reserved this time is because I think Turnkey understands what's at task here, and I think they're. I mean, I think having a third party, and it could be a blunder. I don't know, but I that's because again, 6'5" King here says $10. I'm confident whoever Strickland hires next reason, he knows his job is on the line. The day the next coach is fired, Scott is walking out behind him, and there's no better when your back's against the wall, and we'll see. His back hasn't really been against the wall up until this point, so I think that's a good reason to feel calm and collected. And look, I think I remember you breaking down Austin Armstrong with the nasty bunch and being very excited about it. And obviously that didn't work out, but it's not that Cody was wrong in his, I would say, in his approach or his breakdown of Armstrong, because you can look at what Houston's doing right now, and that nasty bunch is alive and well. It's got to fit a certain system. I think you need players to fit your scheme and how you want to run things. And we were lacking that, which didn't allow for his defensive ways to set up. I also think it probably may have been a little bit of one-sided, but it's kicked ass for Houston. It's kicked a lot of ass for Houston. $5 from Anthony. The Discord link has to be on a laptop or a computer. I didn't know that. You won't find it in the mobile app. Sheldon, please add that to the channel description. Thank you, Anthony. I did not know that. $2. The national media glazing LSU is weird behavior. Very weird. We're going to get into that right now. $2. Just announced FSU keeping Norvell for next year. We mentioned that. Thank you, sir. Dustin, $5. Tennessee can talk trash. It took Florida's lowest point in 30 years. 30 years for them to get the W. We near about gave them the W. Yeah, that's why it's like, look, let them have their fun. They won. I'm not here to get all worked up with it. There is 700 people in here though, and I would greatly appreciate it if you could smash the like button. If you're not subscribed and you want to subscribe and follow along, whether you're a troll and want to continue to troll, you're welcomed. We accept all people here. Much appreciated. Now let's get into this. Let's talk about the Lane Kiffin stuff. This show is of course brought to you by Kalshi. And we love it. We've been following this for quite some time. This changed last night with the odds because a couple days ago, Lane was losing on Kalshi. Again, for those of you who don't know what Kalshi is, it's very similar to the stock market. There are no bettors setting the odds like Vegas. It's all based on human interaction. So wherever the money goes, that's where the odds go. And what I love about it the most, to be quite honest with you, is you can really play the game like you do a stock market. You want to be a daily stock trader, you can daily stock these lines and daily trade, games, if you will. We were literally watching it last night with Georgia Tech and Pitt, and I said it. When Georgia Tech was driving, I go, now would be the time to put money on Georgia Tech. Now they threw a pick six within 30 seconds, and that's the name of the game, and then the line flipped right back to where it was. But if you get in at 22 cents, right, that's how they do this, or 22%, and it moves up, you can cash out at 30% and make a profit within a matter of minutes. So in the middle of the game, it's chaos. It's a good time. But we've been following it this because there is no. They've taken the odds for where Lane is going to go off of bet odds, I believe. I think it went back on the other day. But Lane is back in the lead for Florida. Although the percentages don't equal 100 here, as you can see, there's other people at the bottom of this that make up for the remaining 100, like the Jetfishes and I think maybe Drinks on there as well. But you see how even there was some movement for Brian Kelly. I really still think that it's chaos. I wish they had a line of will he remain Ole Miss. I've looked for it. They don't have that yet. So that would open up a lot of things. But use the link in the description. Use the code HIGHTOP to get $10 off your first $100 investment. Again, that's Kalshi.com. Go check it out. Use the code HIGHTOP. They've been supporting us all year long. Now, I want to talk about this. After we talked about our show and the AD from Ole Miss announced that there will be an announcement on Saturday, the media had a party. the amount of articles that were dropped on LSU offering, it was as if it was as if Lane's already accepted the LSU job. Very strange stuff.
They haven't even finalized an offer.
Yeah, that's what's very strange. If you read the description, it's like they're
finalizing the offer of what they want to offer them. And real fast, can I address this comment real fast? It's not bad. Nape and Dog, dude, I understand. Listen, I understand. He says, Cody, that's what we got with Napier. Napier won 2 natties at Louisiana, or 2 natties, and then at Louisiana, we took him because he was winning. Well, you can't go get a losing coach. Like, it's just an experiment. Like, it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, you're still going to run into it. Yeah, it's a guess.
You could, I mean, we could go hire Nick Saban, and it doesn't mean he's going to rebuild that Bama factory at the University of Florida.
It's like Belichick's had 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah, it doesn't always equate. Like, it doesn't. I don't know why. You got to have the right guy at the right time. The football gods they work their magic, and when you don't, you don't. And you can't just not make a coaching hire. You can't not get a winner. If you go get a mediocre guy, that's not what people want, or a guy with a losing record. That's definitely what we don't want. It's just, I know Gators have some coaching PTSD after the Napier experiment and some of the others. All you can do is get the most proven guy that you can go get.
Josh Pate just tweeted. Josh Pate just said, I know where Lane will be in 2026. All I can say is wow. And he's been very Florida heavy, so we'll see how his show is tonight. I think he might be just trolling us. We'll see. Paul Feinbaum said on the Matt Berry show today that he thinks Florida is a lean for Kiffin.
Florida's the lean for Lane Kiffin?
Yeah, according to Paul Feinbaum. Here, let's get into this. So Adam says $90 million over 7 years is 12.8, and that's what has been reported. And now the number has moved from 90 to 98. It depends on where you look for Lane to LSU, which is 12.8, which does not make him the highest paid coach. Which I believe that he would be the highest paid coach after this deal was done. I said that. Cody wanted to give him 17. I really don't care. I do believe that he'll be over 13.5. The original number we said on this show, do you guys remember? And then Buddy Martin went and wrote about it. I'm not saying he wrote about it on the show, but was 7 years, 93, which was we did the math. It was like right over 13.5. That was a number we said at the beginning of this. I'm talking day one. I'm talking the day after Napier was fired. That number was set here.
Yep.
Florida offered 13.5, which also was reported by other people over 6 years. Florida has also matched $25 million NIL. I said this on the last night's show because that's where people were concerned. And I wanted to clear this up. And I also want to make this very clear. I said it on the call-in show last night. If you want to, you can mock me about sources, all this shit, all that you want on the chat. I'm not going to argue with you. I have been as honest and upfront with everyone as possible. That's my MO. Like, if you ask Cody, you ask my wife, my mom taught me this when I was a young kid. You don't lie. That's kind of always been my prerogative. Like, you just, if you lie, you've lost everything. So honesty has always been my biggest thing. Because that's all that I can really do. And so I tell you this, and I always say it, take it with a grain of salt. I understand how sources work, boys. It's your buddy talking to his buddy. I've heard a lot of positive things. I haven't been overly obnoxious about it because this, in my opinion, is much different than a recruit and things like that. There's a much more implications here that could cause some weary here. Here's what I know and here's what I believe. The reason I believe it is because I've heard it from multiple people who are not, there's no crossover, okay? Now, it's Gator Nation, so there could be, but there's people that, I'm telling you, there's people that don't talk to other people that I've talked to, that I'm close with. Doesn't make it true. No. I'm just telling you what I know. The money, when I saw the offer being posted, I was like, okay, like that doesn't concern me at all. What's always concerned me about this entire thing and why I think LSU was even brought into the mix and why I've always felt that Ole Miss has an edge is autonomy. Lane wants to come in, this son of a gun, pull his pants down, piss on the fire hydrant, and do what he wants to do. You ask me, pee where you want, big fella. I don't give a damn. But I'm not in charge. I'm not there. So I don't know. We would all just say, yeah, write a blank check. There's danger in that too, though. So do it. I mean, I'm not here to. I can't sit here and say I would know what to do. That's number one. The other part I heard, which has been debunked by a few and Zach Alberti on 3 message boards, was the GM situation, that he didn't want ours, which I'm completely cool with, and he wanted his own, which that seems like a no-brainer to me. The autonomy thing, I can 100% have a reason to push back on. Like, I support Strickland and the boys of, like, there needs to be a little bit, like, you can't just everyone say yes. I don't think that's a healthy way to operate your business. Myself, I don't operate that way. I run a lot of stuff by Cody and people on this show. And when Cody agrees with me, I go, hey, I can't talk to you right now because I'm not looking for a yes. I'm looking for a no. And I want someone to convince me of why we shouldn't do something. And I still might do it, but I need to know. I want someone to be like all in on. That's why when people think like, oh, I just want to be told. I like when people push back. It makes us all better about it. That's what people misunderstand. When you want to attack and just be like one-sided and closed-minded, that's where I lose you. I can't talk to you anymore. So this is where, again, there's this weird, eerie confidence. Because on the same side of things, we've watched this. We talked about it on the call-in show. When the whole Alabama thing broke down last year, when DeBoer got hired, there was zero noise behind it. It came from the clouds. It was Norvell. It was Dan Lanning. Remember, we were watching Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning drops an article. Like, there were so many other things happening. DeBoer came from the clouds. Sexton knows this guy is operating like an assassin. If that number is being spread the way that it is, I just don't see the advantage for LSU to throw that number out there. Like, that's a very that is such an arrogant way. And again, the way the article was written is that they are putting together a deal to offer Lane Kiffin. And as confident as all of the media is, which kudos to them. And I keep saying this, Florida and Ole Miss kind of seems to be checked out. Florida is weirdly confident. They are going to look like either the dumbest humans on the face of the earth, which is highly possible, or masterminds in this whole thing. And by golly, we could use a mastermind moment like nobody's business right now. Like nobody's business. The money doesn't faze me. The money does not concern me. I really believe that Florida is ready to button up and go get their guy. I am genuinely, my major concern is Ole Miss. If he goes to LSU, if he goes to LSU and it comes out that it's a money thing, then obviously we didn't know what we were talking about. If it comes out he goes to LSU and all the money was the same and he just chose LSU or Florida, then we don't know who Lane Kiffin is. We are all wrong on who we thought Lane was, and have at it. You know what I mean? My major concern is him staying at Ole Miss. That's my fear. That is the biggest component, in my opinion. That's who we should be watching out for. Because now there's numbers out there, right? And I'm sure, obviously, it wasn't like Ole Miss didn't know what the offer was, but now it's publicly known. So the reason why you put it publicly out there, right, beforehand, is that shows that, well, this person didn't respond. It didn't show that they fought for me. So if he puts this number out there and Ole Miss, and it comes back to Ole Miss never offered him, well, it's like, well, Lane can kind of walk away and be like, they had an opportunity. This was the number on the table. They wouldn't give it to me. They know I needed this. They wouldn't give it to me. You guys saw it a week ago. They wouldn't give it to me. That to me is the play. Is it kind of clear the air?
This is my only thing. I think that it can only be two places for Lane Kiffin. And this might be a hot take, or I might look like a complete moron. So this is just what I think. And take it with a grain of salt. Josh Pate says he knows where Lane Kiffin is going. Do I think Josh Pate is a liar? No. He's probably pretty well connected. That would have to say that there is only two circumstances that has happened. One, he signed the extension with Ole Miss. They're going to go out and win the Egg Bowl. And then they're going to have this dramatic pop-up graphic on the thing. Lang staying. He wins the fans back because they're on a high off of winning the Egg Bowl. They go and march into the playoffs, and we don't hear about it for another couple years. That's option one, door one. Door two is he signed something with Florida when they went and met him Thursday because It cannot be LSU if they are reporting they are putting an offer together. They're trying to finalize an offer. Well, something has already been the decision has already been made. So they can put on 3 can report it and they can put on whatever. But if you look at the timeline, he either signed something when he went into the meeting and they're trying to have this elaborate Lane Kiffin, staying at Ole Miss, or he's coming to Florida. And I think that's the only 2 options. That's it.
There's an interesting super chat that I want to read here in just a minute. Option 3, Josh could be
But
doing it for Option 3, Josh could be doing it for clicks because I don't watch Josh Pate's show. Nothing against Josh Pate. I said this before. I don't watch a lot of creators because I try to have an own opinion, and it's very easy to be persuaded. I do watch from time to time, but and Josh Pate does a good job. Like, I got nothing against the guy. I'm sure he doesn't like me. We've beefed on Twitter before, but it is what it is. But I'm gonna tune in tonight to see if he gives any hints, and if he gives hints, then I'll because my thing is, you say I know where he's going, but if you don't put any skin in the game, it means nothing. It's like a Hayes Fawcett tweet when he tweets eyeballs, like nothing happens for 6 weeks. Let me read some super chats here because they're flowing. I don't want to miss them. I appreciate it.
And guys, I don't know. I don't have any insiders. I'm not an insider. I'm not saying I'm an insider. I'm saying when you look at the timeline, it only seems to match up with 2 programs. Or he's fooled everybody and he's going to Auburn because they've been the most quiet out of everybody. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Door number 5.
Well,
Pandora's
there's a super
box.
chat here that's very interesting from Anthony. I love it. Let's get Saban as AD and Kiffin as coach. We would be Nattyville. I mean, yeah, Build-A-Bear Workshop. I love it. $5. He's saying wow because he's staying put. He wouldn't be surprised if what he was leaning came true. Also a good thing to look at too. Here we go. $50. My man. Appreciate you, Sniper. Gents, we made it through this horrible season. Well, we got one more week, Bubba. But like Napier always said, football can teach us a lot about life. If you get knocked down, land on your back, because if you can't look up, you can get up. Lane train, come and go Gators. I mean, that's a hell of a send-off for sure. If you can look up, you can get up. I love that. Appreciate the $50, man. Much love, Bubba. That's our guy. Or the NFL. That would cause for a wow. I don't see staying at Ole Miss as a wow.
No, I don't. I see he either goes to Florida or maybe the Giants. I don't know. I don't think he's an NFL guy though.
I know it's off topic, boys. Norvell returning in 2026. Yeah, we talked about that, but thank you, Uncle Clay. The reason why I think the NFL thing is weird and why you would wait to announce it after the Egg Bowl is because I don't think that would piss off Ole Miss. All right, that's cool. It's a different world. You can't compete.
That doesn't feel wowish to me. That doesn't feel wowish to me.
Look at me, Josh. It feels very look at me. Again, here's where I'm going to be irritated because you have a show tonight. You know what you're doing. And you in my opinion, if you're Josh Pate, you got to put 10 toes down. You can't just be like, I know. And then it happens. Like, yep, I knew it. Cool. Guess what, boys? I know where Lane's going to.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do it, I'm tweeting the same thing tomorrow. Just FYI.
I got the winning Powerball numbers in my head, but I don't gamble.
Yeah.
So.
If I'm watching the show tonight, if he doesn't give any inkling of where he thinks he's gonna go, I'm posting the same thing tonight. Verbatim. And then I'm gonna post this isn't the flex you think it is. What would he say? Wow, if it was LSU, everybody saying LSU would be no surprise. Again, like there's so many. That's what's so stupid about this tweet because you can it could be a wow for LSU because how much money he's leaving for. It could be wow for Ole Miss because nobody saw it coming. It could be wow for Florida because nobody was talking about Florida except him. Or it could be NFL. Like it literally just plays into the bullshit. That's all that it does.
Yeah. But if you match the timeline, up, LSU's a little too late. I mean, if you look at who he's met with.
I think that If we've got to be big Bulldog fans on Friday. I think that's going to be a big factor too. Because when Lane says I'm in the moment, I love my team, I truly believe that, and I think that Ole Miss says if you leave, you're not coaching the playoffs, and I think Florida would probably let him, but I don't think Ole Miss would, and I think that's the battle, and I think that's why they said we're going to wait and see.
They're saying Josh said he was trolling on his comments. I mean, that kind of pisses me off. If he's trolling.
Josh already backed out of his thing.
You got a mega platform. Like the whole troll. Like how
he said. Hold on, I'm looking at it now. So some guy says, "Man, this feels like an engagement for him." And he goes, 1000%. Please click the tweet.
I don't know. Why don't we just call him? See.
That seems mocking to me too.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't care. Like, I feel like certain people should troll and certain people.
Yeah, like I mean, we troll people like, oh, you can't do that. Like, bro, we post very little serious things. Like, you know,
I'm not mad at all. If we don't get Lane Kiffin, it is what it is.
Keep on moving, baby. We'll be here every Saturday and Sunday, rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
What did CBS Sports say? I don't think Josh Payton knows. I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah. Well, there's two people that know. I think the AD of Ole Miss, and I think Lane Kiffin, and that's about it. Well, and Jimmy Sexton, he knows too. Our boy Jimmy knows. We need to just get him. We need to get him on the show and see if he's got a
nobody asked like him.
Yeah.
It was an
Does Jimmy Sexton have
falling for it? I mean, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You got me, Josh. Good job. All right, boys. Well, great show as always. Almost 900 people in here. There's not 200 likes, which is upsetting, but good show. A lot of great conversations. I think we're going to do a show with Allie Peak tonight. I mean, what are we going to talk about? Probably a lot of the same stuff. I don't sell the tape for that reason annoying. Yeah, look, I mean, you could say he got me. It's like, you're not no 3, bro. Like, whatever.
You're Josh
Call me an idiot. I don't know. Brett Brown, appreciate it, buddy. Well, we will see. We'll see about tonight's show. We'll see if anything changes. I'll talk with Allie, see what we can talk about. But y'all be good, be safe. Happy Sunday to all of y'all. Appreciate y'all as always for tuning in, hanging out with us. We much appreciate y'all. Shout out to Kalshi, our sponsors. Use code HIGHTOP. Y'all be good. Peace and love, baby.
The fist water bringing fire, cowboys out riding bold. Bulls calling bets, watch the stories unfold.